Hey, how's it going, fellow runners? I'm Steve from a small town in Oxford, Massachusetts, going out for a run on a very cold New England day. It's about 5 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and I'm in the middle of a 12-mile run. And man, days like today where you question your mentality, your common sense, the whole concern about frostbite and freezer burn starts to come into play. But I'm handling it. I'm getting the miles in with strength. A little dehydrated. That's the thing about running in New England this time of year. You don't think you'd be all that thirsty because of the cold. You usually associate warm, hot days as days where you're going to require fluids. But I'm telling you, it's days like today where it's so cold that the moisture is just sucked out of the air. It can be kind of brutal sometimes. I love New England. It's probably my favorite place on the earth, and I think everybody feels the same way about their home, right? I mean, where you live, I'm sure, is, what you consider to be the most beautiful part of the planet. I grew up here, and, I'm 47 years old now, and I'm at the age, I think, where you start thinking about what you want to do when you retire. Believe me, I probably won't retire for another 40 years, the way things are going. But, where would I live, right? And my wife, who also grew up in New England, she's sort of the mind that she'd like to possibly get a place down in Florida or someplace warm. Whereas I'm just the opposite. Given the choice, I'd love to live like way up in Maine, maybe on the coast, just because I love that area. Of course, the winters can be kind of brutal, but as a guy who grew up in New England, I feel pretty good about it. I think I can handle it. I don't know what it is about this place, the changing seasons. I meet a lot of people from around the world who say, why would you want to live in a place where you're essentially trapped inside during the winter months because it's so cold? Well, look at me. I'm not trapped inside. I'm outside. And maybe that's one of the benefits of being a runner. I think we are blessed in that we accept the environment around us. I'm not just talking about, the environment and using the term in a green way. I'm talking about, accepting the warm days and the cold days. And even though it's brutally cold right now, there are parts of my body that have no feeling. But I love it because I'm getting fresh air. It's a gorgeous day. Take a look at that sky. You see that? Man, that's just absolutely stunning. And that's one of the things I love about New England, the air is crisp and clean. And, we have our warm summers. We have hot, humid days that are brutal. But then, we get to mix it up a little bit. When the seasons change, you feel it, you know it. And when winter turns to spring, it's a magic time. And when spring turns to summer, it's long days at the ballpark and ice-cold beer. And as summer turns to fall, well, that's pretty special too. It's a colorful time. It's a gorgeous foliage, and it's the time of reaping. It's time for you to gather all your foods together, and I don't know. It's kind of special. So that's my feeling on the subject. Yes, the winters get cold, but there's a lot of good with that too. And one of the things that I so love about New England is you appreciate the good days. You appreciate the warmth of the spring and summer. And you learn not to dread the winter. At least I do. My wife and I will still go back and forth about where we want to retire, and we'll probably meet halfway, but for now, it's a beautiful New England day, and I'm going for a run. For Runcast TV, I'm Steve Runner, reminding you to run long and taper.